To survive in modern air combat, you need to be fast and practically invisible. In contested airspace, whoever detects the enemy first usually walks away. Right now, China is rapidly mass-producing the J-20 stealth fighter, expanding its fleet with fifth-generation aircraft designed specifically for long-range engagements. India's frontline fighters are highly capable, but the Air Force's active squadron strength has actually fallen below officially sanctioned safety levels. It is a numbers problem, compounded by an expanding technology gap. This flowchart maps India's long-term plan, the domestic AMCA fifth-generation fighter. But prototypes take time, creating a massive capability gap until the mid-2030s. To maintain regional deterrence, the Air Force needs a stopgap, an interim foreign stealth fighter to hold the line. Developing an indigenous stealth airframe from scratch is a decades-long endeavor. With regional threats mounting today, a foreign bridge provides the immediate security India requires. The two primary platforms offered to fill this gap are the French Rafale and the Russian Su-57. Usually, you compare jets based on top speed, maximum payload, or turn radius. But those traditional metrics will not decide this procurement. The real battleground here is absolute digital sovereignty. Modern air forces need to own and control the software running their planes. The French are offering a mature platform, but its software is a locked, closed box. The Russians are offering an open-code sandbox, where India can modify the underlying software, but it comes with heavy geopolitical risks. Ultimately, the IAF must weigh the tactical safety of the French offer against the strategic autonomy of the Russian one. Ultimately, the winner will be the partner that physically hands India the keys to completely control its own defense software. You might be wondering why India doesn't just bypass this dilemma and buy the American F-35. On paper, the F-35 has unparalleled physical stealth and sensor fusion. It is a highly capable, network-centric fighter. Buying the F-35 requires signing strict U.S. end-user agreements. The aircraft is tethered to a centrally managed logistics system controlled by the United States. Those agreements technically block India from integrating the F-35 with its existing Russian-origin aircraft. The systems literally cannot share data. Acquiring the F-35 buys supreme tactical capability, but it completely sacrifices the strategic ambiguity and autonomy that India relies on. That brings us to the French proposal. Heavily expand India's existing Rafale fleet so it can serve as the primary multi-role backbone. The Rafale is battle-tested and highly reliable. Because India already operates it, the maintenance infrastructure is in place. Plus, buying from France carries zero risk of political sanctions. This matrix compares our two viable options across four key metrics. The Rafale scores perfectly on combat maturity, but its software architecture is tightly protected. France historically does not share the source code required to access its radar and weapons interfaces. Without that interface control, India cannot independently integrate its own sensors or missiles. Every upgrade requires French permission and technical assistance. An expanded Rafale fleet guarantees immediate combat mass and geopolitical safety, but it permanently locks India out of deep indigenous customization. Russia's counterproposal for the Su-57 approaches the problem from the exact opposite direction: unrestricted technology transfer and full source code access. Looking back at the matrix, the Su-57 flips the board. It wins on source code access and native integration, but the geopolitical risk is a massive warning sign. That source code access grants total autonomy. Indian engineers can independently install their own technology, like the domestic Virupaksha Radar and the Astra missile. It also opens the door to natively integrating heavy, advanced munitions, like the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile, directly into a stealth platform. Beyond weapons, accessing Russia's low-level system designs acts as a masterclass. Indian engineers can study tested algorithms for flight control and electronic warfare, using the Su-57 as a sandbox to shortcut development for the AMCA. The Su-57 trades immediate platform maturity for a technological bridge that drastically accelerates India's domestic software independence. There's a logistical pillar to the Russian deal: localizing Su-57 production. India already builds the Su-30 MKI here, meaning the manufacturing infrastructure is largely in place. Localizing production creates a domestic supply chain for spares. Over a 40-year lifespan, Avoiding international shipping and foreign labor drastically lowers the cost per flying hour. But proceeding with the Su-57 exposes India to a massive counter-risk, potential U.S. COTSA sanctions. If enacted, those sanctions could devastate India's domestic aviation programs by choking off the supply of American-made engines, which power the Tejas light combat aircraft. Localizing the Su-57 is a high-reward industrial play, but it carries a geopolitical poison pill that could accidentally paralyze India's broader self-reliance initiatives. Modern combat doctrine treats the fifth-generation jet as a flying command center. It sits at the heart of the network, orchestrating the broader battlespace by feeding critical targeting data to every other asset in the sky. The Su-57 is optimized specifically for this door-kicker role. It uses raw sensor power to penetrate contested airspace and share targeting data, compensating for physical stealth that is slightly lower than Western jets. Because different missions require different risk profiles, relying on a single foreign supplier is a vulnerability modern air forces can no longer afford. This map outlines the emerging consensus among defense experts, a narrow hybrid strategy. Use the Rafale as the heavy multi-role backbone and treat a limited number of Su-57s as a specialized bridge. If immediate deterrence, guaranteed supply chains, and political safety are paramount, expanding the Rafale is the only choice. But if long-term sovereignty, accelerating the AMCA, and owning the mission computers are the priority, the Su-57 is the necessary risk. The indigenous AMCA is the definitive destination. The choice between Paris and Moscow is simply the choice of which strategic dependency India can best leverage to finally arrive there.